Hello, CNN has collusions with people with the intelligence community at Central Connecticut State University and as former directors of the FBI in conjunctions to them and to their co-defendants of former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and to their family members and their neighbors involved also with all kinds of natures of organized crime, including with judges and prosecutors, overt criminal enterprises, private ones, and the educators and names of families at campuses and next to them, planting evidences for a whole bunch of different countries where they have differences, racketeering, worse than war crime, with some black KKK, Confederate flag theme, Latino theme, all kinds of different police forms and multiple police departments involved with predicate acts on my street and with the streets parallel through time with people that used to live here involved too with the Wethersfield police falsifying police reports and making confessions and refusing to get on paper, refusing to identify themselves legitimately. They switch names. They have multiple falsified police reports since I was a kid. A bunch of people in the Britain Superior Court and Hartford courts before the World Trade Center attack. They had collusions. They affected requests for help to me. And I keep finding out more and more about that because they leak to the breaching method the same way we could observe. But you guys need to follow mandated law. They're refusing to get on paper. They attached me to fake being at the Wethersfield police station, have a conversation with them as a kid, and now as an adult too. Increasingly, people are involved with there are people putting criminally foreign influence uses of my educators behind my back and of the kids behind my back at each class too. 2 times I had a speech class. Our people with the state judicial branch and corrections offices in Washington, D.C. and the World Trade Center involved with all like from the family locations and corners around it, planting fake, acting so others can see things and repeat fake things. And so they can take pictures, put fake ties, fake natures and ties to people. They also just completely do that by changing and faking digital evidences, having people say fake things in there and they pretend that's real. Like I've never had anything to do with a Joshua Julian and Enzo Fienza and his neighbors have roles with my educators. I never even saw him on a campus in my life. Enzo Fienza, I don't know where he went to campus, and his cousin. They have roles across the street from Enzo Fienza's cousin house per them with South Saviello. I don't know if he still lives there or who lives there. And a whole bunch of people tied to them with mayors, their family members. The Wethersfield town offices has all kinds of organized crimes. These are people intercities, intra-cities, intercultural. These are how they keep them. The whole career is criminally foreign influence, tactically delusions raw. I shouldn't have to beg you to get one people on paper, one name and sequence. I was shot at by a pellet gun right before President Trump was was reportedly shot. CNN made it look fake too. Please, CNN, your Facebook page has roles with Facebook itself and Facebook pages of FBI and of New Britain Superior Court, involved also with Highcrest Campus's Facebook page with a Joshua Julian, with some sexual and medical offenders further, with a principal upskirt nature. I recorded involved with way worse before that and since. Increasingly, there are people with the name O'Neill involved with educators in West Hartford, too. Involved also with whiting forensics, with Saudis and people on my street who knew my Saudi friend before I knew her. Increasingly involved with inter-cities predicate acts with former director of the FBI, connected, colluding people. And like with the Mendez police, Form's family, intercities, and with New Britain Superior Court involved with sexual and medical offenders with an identity thefts and frauds with a Mendez family of police and with retired police chiefs, and reportedly a girlfriend of a police chief years ago, with the same house tied to people with the family members and extended and I believe married into the family of Mazzucato Bakery, which is also involved increasingly by identity theft, fraud, slanders, and then cover-ups on Facebook Facebook, since before Facebook was Facebook, has collusions with the agencies and with a whole bunch of different countries at Central Connecticut State University in New Britain, Connecticut, with WFSB, also leaking their roles with people from Yukon, also confirming that intercities involved with them too, next to the state capitol, increasingly with all kinds of natures of organized crimes and federal evidence crimes and natures of identity theft, fraud, slanders, roles, instances. In other words, please get them on paper, one name and sequence. A whole bunch of Connecticut Fire Department's families too have roles with Hartford Hospital, with a whole bunch of different countries and the people involved too. Like a Leahy family puts fake transcripts there, roles with various courts, judges, and prosecutors personally and professionally involved with them, and with victims advocates with overt criminal enterprises and private ones. They have roles planting evidences and fake motivations at parks and next to them. They have parks and recreation with more drugs and medicines crimes, with people tied to this Leahy family, and Hartford Hospital, also with people named Lombardo. They have the Weathersfield Community Center increasingly involved with it, and names on all sides, like people with the name Pierce will tell you I had no communications with them. They don't know me. They have someone tied to a Smith family near me too, and we're involved with threats against me, and we're gonna have to deal with it because there's a Phil Colo also involved with someone further involved with the intercultural theme and yelling out confessions and demonstrations. In other words, I don't even know their names. That's one of the things they do. They don't let people know names, so then they could lie when they get people angry when they ask a question when the time where they're going to walk. They have criminally foreign influence use of location /S, collusion /S, with a human factory nature breaching method black pupils. Do not forget. So the World Trade Center is then and now planting fake motives for why and how they hide and plot. Get them on paper. I rap a lot. Have them stop leaking because the map and uses of the map is one of the things that, and their sequence ships is one of the things that leak that connect them, and their roles with preventing writing so they can stick fake things in databases, and their roles covering that up with roles with crime scenes, and then pretending, oh, well, that's why we arrested them. They're lying about why they arrested it, and they're hiding even when they're telling the truth. I caught them using the truth for lies and fake motivations with that too, because they know they have a whole bunch of different countries involved. People with the name McGee have some foreign and domestic involved with sexual and medical offenders. Further, with the women roles too is an interesting way because they're used to force people to speak through others, and they're screening. They say or do whatever to make use the fake conversations in databases, the fake informations in databases. A whole bunch of people tied to principals named O'Connor. There's a mother and daughter with the name O'Connor, and there's a Tom O'Connor. A whole bunch. I never had a personal conversation with a Tom O'Connor. He's one of the ones involved with the intelligence community with New York City, also with the Fred Grisette, and with a Joe DeMoro involved with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and other people with confessions tied to the World Trade Center attack and the spots next to it, and the court next to it. The same day, the court and names on all sides of that case were also attached to fake, forced sequence shifts, self-value, etc., by people involved with Central Connecticut State University in New Britain, Connecticut, who interstates and internationally colluded, but also per worse, the hyper-international, that which had slavery, for example, sickly distinctly in northern colonies and southern colonies. That's that which has, it's still forced to be blamed either on our founders or on other things others ourselves. In other words, not what our founders communicated for us to blame it on, the breaching method. And why and how they had to leave the breaching method and roles with it entrenched. Not one has ranks. Please, CNN, do what's right. For Facebook, too. Facebook, do what's right. Respond to my comments so we can get them. The New Britain Superior Court, we only need to keep them guilty. You'll be innocent then. But when we don't have time, and the Weathersfield police, get them on paper with the Schumack family is involved with also with some KKK and interreligious nutbags involved with sexual and medical offenders, also with the military, with identity theft, fraud, slanders, with some Violet family involved with a Schumack and a Joshua Julian, with the Wethersfield police and people all along Route 175 through time, a whole bunch of ways and conjunctions to it, like Ridge Road, planting identity theft, fraud, slanders. Increasingly, people putting fake things with my database in databases at campus. I went behind my back and trying to make fake exceptions with little tricks when I walk by. Watch the little magic tricks that are used to keep the three branches of government self-valued being and haven't been used remotely, criminally, foreign influence, tactical delusions, raw. Because that's what you're capable of watching with just having black pupils, whites of eyes alone. Black pupils, period. It is time